Alrighty, it is time for Duelist Kingdom action, and I tell you what a task and a half this one was. So you might notice that there's no backing sound effects that we usually have from the in-game, like when the cursor's moving and when cards are going to be played. I did mention that the Ishizu and Syrus match had a glitch while recording, and I was going to try and do a salvage operation. Well, that salvage operation was successful in somewhat successful. So I don't know what happened with this match, with the recording, but what will happen during this duel is the game will start playing at like 10 to 15 frames per second and go really choppy. That I can't fix, but the actual encoded file was completely unusable. So I had to get the TS file, which is it's sort of like what the Elgato records, and it's like, I don't know what it is with that file, but it comes with like 8 audio files, and it takes Premiere Pro. Like, I couldn't even import it because of how much processing this file needed, so I ended up playing it on the MacBook. Funny enough, those TS files, they can play fine, but you can't get them into Premiere Pro to edit for some reason. So I played it back on the MacBook and screen recorded the TS file, which was in 2 different halves. So it was like a duel and a half, and then like a little bit of the second match and the third match. So I had to splice that back together after screen recording them both. And it turns out the third match was just a bit of a throwaway and it was glitching out mad. So we ended up recording the third match. That one's fine. I have tested the Elgato, I have tested the laptop, I have tested all of the components in the chain for the recording. I did a 2-hour video on Mario 3. And it is working perfectly fine. I have no idea why this one glitched out, but that's the story behind this match. So I have been watching. Ishizu is doing pretty good. She has got Cosmo Queen on the field, but offerings to the doomed. So obviously I have seen this duel already. I do know the outcome because I had to go through this operation, because it was a 37-minute match. It was extremely good. And I didn't want to throw it away, so I thought I can view this TS file, but I have to find a way to do it. That's why the edges on the screen might be cropped a bit as well. But here we are. Patroid, I think that was, no, Stealthroid. And Akikiyasu is down in defense for Ishizu. So thankfully, I did manage to salvage, because the second duel of this match is absolutely incredible. Unfortunately, the visuals are going to be a little bit choppy. It's not completely unwatchable, but it skates that line. You will see what I mean in a little bit. So Stealthroid now is tributed, and Syrus brings forth UFO-roid, which of course has the effect in summon a machine 1500 or less attack position. I was wondering why this card was 6 stars. I think I know the reason, because if that is destroyed by battle, that can summon Mixeroid. Even though it's got 0 attack, if Syrus can protect it, he can then utilize the effects. So maybe that's why UFO-roid was 6 stars. Alright, Akikiyasu in defense, and you see Ishizu is slowly building here. She's got a Mudora in her hand and she wants to play it. She wants to build up some fairies in her graveyard. Unfortunately, she drew Akikiyasu, who is in fact a spellcaster. Patroid comes to the field, 1200 to match that of UFO-roid, and he gets to have a look at Ishizu's face down card, which is that Magic Jammer. So Syrus is ready. He knows if he gets a good magic card, he might not want to throw it away. The drag down into the grave, if Ishizu plays that, Syrus can get rid of Mudora, so that'd be why Ishizu has wanted to hold on to that card so far. Draw phase, Muko. And you know, Muko can block the effects of, what's it called? Shard of Greed, for example. 2100 of Midora now in for the attack. Syrus does have a face down, but the difference between attack and defense is greater than 700, so Mask of Weakness and Rush Recklessly are out of the equation here. Ishizu, smart though, doesn't target the UFO-roid. And phase and turn change back to Syrus on turn number 12. And as Syrus plays... I repeat again, Syrus plays, there we go. Mixeroid, there we go. So, 0 attack, so Syrus didn't need to use the effect of UFO-roid in the end, but now Mixeroid has come to the field. And Mixeroid tributes itself, and that means we know what is coming next. It is none other than Armoroid at 2700. And have a look at this. 7 completed. Onto that of Armoroid, onto its attack. That'll make it 3400. Ishizu, she activates her Magic Jammer. She kind of had to. If she let Armoroid get to 3400, she's never going to get over it, so... But now Midora at 2100, Ishizu probably felt confident that her Midora would have been okay. But if it wasn't for Mixeroid, Syrus would still be losing. Now 1200 comes off Ishizu. They're close on life points. 4200 plays 5000. Turn change goes back to Ishizu and she draws a Mask of Weakness. And she plays Drag Down into the Grave. She could have played it earlier, of course. She doesn't know what's in Syrus's hand. But it looks like Syrus drew the Mixeroid and played it straight away. There's no reason why he wouldn't have given what was on the field. So as his first match, looks like it is starting to go in the favor of Syrus. Ishizu only has Into the Void in her hand, and Syrus plays Monster Reborn, and he is going to bring back the Cosmo Queen. 29 and 27 is 56, plus the 12 is 6800. So Ishizu, even with a Mask of Weakness, will not to get through this turn. Now I would read out some comments, and I will as it's changing over here, but I do believe the game is going to start to glitch out very, very soon. I think it happens a couple of minutes. No, it's happened now. So pretty much, this is why I thought the Switch dock, or one of the Nintendo Switches initially, because it seems that when our players end a match, they swap the switches around on the dock, and it seems as soon as the other switch went onto the dock is when this started to happen. So you see the visuals are very, very choppy. I can't do anything to fix that other than re-recording the duel. So although it's a little bit nasty on the eyes, it should only be a one-off. We've recorded other duels getting ready for round 11, and the guys said they looked back and they didn't have this issue happen again. So who knows, but Ishizu has played Dragged Down into the Grave to start this one off, and she has selected Power Bond. So Syrus will not be able to utilize Power Bond to get a double up on a fusion monster. We all know how strong that card has been in the past for Syrus, especially with that pair Psychroid. Okay. Let's start off with Master Mewtwo, who says it's Kage Musha of the Blue Flame, not effin' Cage Musha. I have called it Cage Musha of the Blue Flame since the Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories days, and even though Kage Musha is probably correct, the fact that I have called it Cage Musha of the Blue Flame for so long is probably going to stick with me for the eternity of however long I live for, or however long I watch and play Yu-Gi-Oh! for, which will probably be forever. I won't live forever, but I will watch Yu-Gi-Oh! forever. And play it and enjoy it as Jetroid this time. So Syrus has Gyroid on the field. That can't be destroyed by battle once per turn. And Alright, Ishizu's face down is the Moki Moki. So this is what I mean. The game went to like 10 to 15 frames per second. The audio was completely destroyed. It was a mess. And I have no explanation on what actually caused it. Every other recording we've done so far, I did a 2-hour one on Mario. On the weekend, the guys did some more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. I was there with them. I wasn't watching the duels because I want the results to be a surprise while I commentate. But they, because I'm not there when they're recording, but because of this issue, I was there on Sunday just to see if it happened again, and I might have been able to pinpoint, but nope, everything went perfectly, so who knows? I mean, that is the thing with technology is that it will fail you at some point. I wonder though, because this one was recorded on the hard drive that I actually pulled Yu-Gi-Oh stuff off of. So that hard drive that crapped itself may have actually been the culprit because the input on that. But then again, the first duel was fine. It was when the switches got swapped around. So I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I'm probably not going to figure out what it was, and it was hopefully just a one-off glitch. I mean, they do happen. Okay, so we've got Keldo on the field now. Gyroid is still unable to be destroyed because Ishizu will have to defeat it twice in one turn. It's only 1,000 though. It's not that strong. But and now Syrus is starting to make it a little bit harder. 1,300 for Gyroid now, and Keldo won't be able to survive this attack unless Ishizu's got a face down. And she does. It's Rush Recklessly. However, that will only protect Keldo, because it's still the one-turn destruct rule for Syrus's turn. It will reset when it goes back to Ishizu. So Syrus's Gyroid is still safe. Mike Wee777, that was on a Donkey Kong short. The Torchlight Trouble one, where Squawks is holding the lantern and everything around you is dark. I hated this level, but thank you for playing it again for the sake of players who missed the letter G. Did anyone play Donkey Kong Country on the SNES back in the day? Classic soundtrack though. Funky Dirk says, I think the longer duels like that Paradox Brothers one that was an hour long, the speed up isn't a bad idea. Yeah, depending on the... Oh, Mixeroid again. So, Mixeroid can summon Armoroid if Syrus wants it. Expressroid is flipped up. And look at this. Expressroid has tributed... Expressroid has been tributed. And Syrus, of course, will go after Armoroid again here, so he's got Monster Reborn there as well. So Syrus is in a fantastic position on this one. And that was Keldo that was destroyed. Keldo's effect is so bad. It's almost not even worth having in the deck, but Ishizu played it during Battle City, so it made its way in there. Akakirsu was destroyed. Mixeroid can't do any damage, but it is in attack mode. And Ishizu, I guarantee you, does not want to leave that on the field, because if she leaves it on the field, it becomes a big problem. Offerings to the Doomed has hit Armoroid, so 2,700 attack off the field. For Syrus, Ishizu went with a face down spell or trap and a Moki Moki. And Ishizu plays Monster Reborn, so she will bring back Armoroid, 2,700. Now the funny thing is here, Moki Moki can destroy Mixeroid. So you've got this like big cement truck of a monster with angry eyes that gets destroyed by whatever the hell Moki Moki actually is. It's a fun game, Yu-Gi-Oh, because you would think a truck, a cement truck versus a floating square fairy The floating square fairy is going to be what comes off as second best. Tricula is summoned, and this is a very interesting move from Syrus because Tricula can destroy the Moki Moki and itself, meaning Syrus can utilize the effect. He had a little bit of a look through the graveyards there. You know what this duel reminds me of? It's like it was filmed on a Bandicam or something. Like, did anyone ever use Bandicam back in the day to record, like screen record or anything? Anything like that? I'm sure someone out there must have used Bandicam at some point. Alright, turn change. The first thing I ever recorded on, in terms of like software, was actually an emulator, believe it or not, which I used to record some of the original Pokemon games. And if you would play it for like more than 20 minutes, the sound in the video would start to go out of sync. It was really horrible, but thankfully today, better equipment, I have more knowledge of this stuff, I can produce much better quality recordings than when I first started, that's for sure. In fact, those Pokemon videos were actually on a different channel as well. I ended up getting rid of them. But, well, that's a story for a bygone time. Ishizu, no cards in hand, 2700 with Armoroid on the field. And she puts down another face-down Spell or Trap as the game, 15 frames per second, glitches its way along. Bokoichi, the frightening car, was destroyed by Armoroid, so Syrus is stuck here. He can't really do anything, but unless Ishizu gets another monster on the field, she can't get rid of that Gyroid. At 1300, it can deflect attacks from Keldo and a few of her like lesser monsters that she's got in there, like Necromancer, the Time Lord, Keldo, Akakirsu, Wall of Illusion, I think might be in Ishizu's deck as well, but another Bokoichi, the frightening car. It's like a, is there a fusion or an effect monster that goes with him? Okay, Ancient Sorcerer is only 1000 attack. It can't destroy Gyroid. There goes Unicycler. And the Armoroid goes after Bokoichi the Frightening Car and destroys another one. So 2 Bokoichi the Frightening Cars have been felled by Armoroid. Draw phase 7 completed. And I tell you why that this 7 completed draw is an absolute gem for Syrus. He could summon the Woodborg Impachi, but it's only 2500 and that will go face down, so Syrus only has 1300 defense, and you see Syrus is tied. Ugh. So Syrus, oh, he just goes to his end phase. Just went to his end phase. Ishizu goes with a face down defense. Puts Ancient Sorcerer to defense mode, and it's still stuck with this Gyroid. The Submarine-roid has come to the field. What we'll do in a second. There it is, Submarine-roid. 800 attack, but when it attacks, it can attack directly and it will go to defense mode after it attacks. So Syrus can get like a little pot shot here. And put Ishizu down to 6,000 life points. And Syrus activates the effect of Submarine-roid, and to defense mode it goes. Dude, this duel is like playing an online match with like really bad internet connection. That's another way to think of this match. This is why we recorded the third duel, because the original third duel, being very lackluster, was also worse than this, so we were just like, no. Let's just drop another one in. Which we did. And it was grand. A lot better than the third duel. The result was the same. So the original 3 duels, even though we re-recorded the 3rd duel of this one, the result was exactly the same. And the first match has concluded, which was won by Syrus. But Ishizu with the Armoroid, she's still got the advantage. She's still got the stronger monster. She just needs something 1300 or above, and she just wasn't getting lucky draws. You know, anything would have done it. Like a Kelbeck, Zolga, Ludora even now would do it. It just wasn't her day. She just isn't drawing the cards she needs. And so there is a prompt popping up in Syrus's graveyard here. And Mixeroid, I'm not going to bother trying to read out all its effect. You'll probably know its effect better than me, but there is an effect that Mixeroid can activate from the graveyard. Syrus's player was reading through it. You know, I shouldn't lay down. Otherwise I'm going to keep yawning. I'll sit back up. Alright, so Syrus had a bit of a read of the effect. He had a look at his hand, and this time he's decided to activate it, so half his life points. He selects 5 cards to banish. And look at this. Pair Psychroid. I think Syrus might have been trying to fuse something else. Maybe he thought that he would get his ultimate battle bot or something. But Pair Psychroid is what the option was. The only option that he had. It's still 1600. And I guess Syrus here started to get a little bit unnerved. So, and now he plays Dark Piercing Light. And Lady of Faith was the one that was flipped up, which tells us what Ishizu has been drawing, not the monsters she needed. And now to the battle phase for Syrus. He can attack directly if he wants to, and he does. So that'll take 1600 off Ishizu and put her down to 4400. Drillroid in for the attack and gets rid of Ancient Sorcerer. It may have just been... It's hard to determine what Syrus was actually trying to go for here. Because what he has actually missed is Steamroid. If Steamroid is connected with 7 completed, it will get the 500 point buffer as well, which would actually put it to 2800. But I'm guessing Syrus's player probably either miscounted it or either didn't take it into the equation. But it is a move that I do believe that Syrus will miss. And I guess the game being as choppy as it is, along with our players probably trying to work out, you know, maybe what was going on as well, because... No, actually I say that wrong, because it wasn't until after recording that they actually... Because, because they said during recording they didn't have this happening. So, let me try and reiterate that last paragraph that I fumbled out. So, during the actual recording, when our players were looking at the consoles, this wasn't happening on the console screens. This has happened through the Elgato recording card or something. Bit of a mind of their own, these Elgato capture cards. Mind you, they're very good. I've used mine extensively for 3 years. Almost on a daily basis. Like, it has recorded a lot of videos, and yet it still goes pretty well without missing a beat. So they're pretty durable little things, though I do say they do have a bit of a mind of their own sometimes. When something goes wrong with them, it goes wrong. So the 7 completed was equipped to Gyroid, and while it's like a Steamroid was there and could have been the one to take out Armoroid, mind you, Ishizu does have 2 face-down cards. Syrus might have been concerned about that because a lot of turns have elapsed. And Ishizu does have Massive Weakness and of course Rush Recklessly as well, so maybe it was the best decision. Syrus put it onto the defensive Gyroid. Ah, there it is. So I knew this was coming. The game completely glitched out. Like half a turn has gone by. Ishizu ended hers, and it went back to Syrus. So turn counter went from like 36, then onto 37, then it suddenly pinged onto 38. On turn 38, Syrus drew Polymerization. And it's just a case of the game completely glitching out at the perfectly wrong time. So we sort of half saw the Polymerization coming to Syrus's hand. I did actually shorten that glitch because it went for about 15 to 30 seconds or so where it was just going absolutely berserk. So it is what it was. Submarine Roid. Now you may be thinking, why bring back Submarine Roid? Because Syrus wants to fuse together 5 of his Roid monsters to create Barbaroid, the ultimate battle machine or whatever it's called. And now look at this. Look at this. The game's frame rate, after it glitched out for like 15 to 30 seconds, however long it was glitching out like mad. And then it went normal again. The frame rates went like back to normal. And when I watched this back, I was like, okay. However, when this match ended and the switches, the 2 Nintendo Switches would have been changed on the docks again, the game went absolutely berserk again, so that's why we went to hell with the third duel. We'll just re-record that. But what a match this has been. Ishizu had Armoroid on the field for so many turns, and now Barbaroid, the ultimate battle robot, is taking 1,000 points off of Ishizu every time a monster gets destroyed by it. So after all this time of Ishizu having Armoroid, Syrus has summoned his ultimate machine, and now Ishizu's life points are down to a sparse 1100. Syrus has taken life point lead again. Ishizu goes with a face down spell or trap and tributes Lady of Faith for a face down defense. Yeah, a face down defense for tribute. What could that possibly be? There's Truckroid. So Syrus goes in for the attack. Ishizu activates Negate Attack and stops Syrus's attack. Syrus activates 7 Tools of the Bandit, puts himself down to 500 life points. Ishizu activates 7 Tools of the Bandit and puts her down to 100 life points. It would have done the exact same effect because Barbaroid would have destroyed it and taken 1,000 points anyway, so the effect is exactly the same. Turn change to Syrus. No, Ishizu, sorry. No, Syrus. Whose turn is it? Ishizu. It's Ishizu's turn. She has 100 life points. Syrus on 500. It's come down to the wire. Ishizu had Armoroid on the field and decimated for so long, but the Gyroid sat like a rock, like an absolute guardian of Sparta, protecting Syrus's side of the field. Ishizu activates Thunder of Ruler. And this match is still going on. 42 turns. They say 42 is the meaning of life. It's gone on to 43. Ishizu's turn now. Still 2 monsters face down. But she is taking on a 4,000 attack, and Ishizu, I believe, has used her offerings to the doomed already, if I'm not mistaken. Psychroid is drawn. And Ishizu, of course, due to the effect of Barbaroid, the ultimate battle machine, will take 1,000 life points. Ishizu activates Mask of Weakness. And look how close this was. Neo Aquamador, 3,000 defense, was only 300 points shy of being able to protect her. And Syrus wins with 500 life points. It's such a shame that the duel got compromised the way it did, because that was an incredible match. Now Syrus is up 2-0, so Ishizu really needs to win this third match to prevent getting a 3-0 embarrassing sweep. Now, the thing is, Ishizu was top of the table before starting this match. She had only lost one game. She's now guaranteed to not get a season point here, but she was 9-1. Syrus was second. So now they're both at 8-2. So this was first playing second, which was, I tell you what, that second match gave us what we wanted for first and second. But this third match, we re-recorded this one because, again, like I said before, whatever's happening that day with the Elgato card or the Switch dock, or maybe the pathway of it getting into the laptop, maybe the old hard drive that had its import half hanging out was the culprit. But we re-recorded the third duel, and the third duel that you're about to see is a lot better than the original one that was half chopped to death anyway. But this duel was solid. This third and final match, as Drillroid made his appearance. Ishizu's face-down defense will not be able to do anything. It is Jin, the Watcher of the Wind. But Ishizu has the Moki Smackdown on the field. End phase and turn change. Ishizu draws Polymerization. She has got the Ancient Elf and the Lady of Faith. And she also has a Wabaku, but Wabaku isn't played. Which may make you think, why not play Wabaku down? And the answer is, well, I really don't know. However, it doesn't matter. Syrus goes with a face-down defense, and he attacks with the Drillroid, which will destroy Lady of Faith, regardless of the effect or not. Drillroid is a very good card. 1600, 4 stars, can just destroy defenses without even breaking a sweat. 2 on the Shard of Greed for Ishizu. She plays down a Magic Jammer, activates the Shard of Greed, and she draws the Giant Soldier of Stone. She has a fusion. Ancient Elf and the Giant Soldier of Stone will merge together to create Mystical Sand. Now, Mystical Sand was a very, very popular card back in Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. I think it did it on Duelist with the Roses as well. A rock fused with any female monster, and you would end up with a 2100 beat stick. It could be like Pot the Trick, which is 400, and let's say a Dancing Elf, which is 300 attack. It would fuse together to create a 2100, which was very useful for early game. Ishizu also played Agido, and Drillroid is destroyed, and Ishizu has the advantage. But we all know what Syrus has been capable of. Mixeroid, which he doesn't always draw, but when he does, the effect of it is very, very good. But what does Syrus have for us on turn number 6? He's got 6 cards in hand. He looks like a 6-year-old. Are there any more 6 puns that I can make? Marek is basically the devil, 666. Moki comes to the field, and Moki Smackdown is available for Ishizu. She plays Moki down in attack mode, almost baiting Syrus to say, like, come and attack my Moki as Bokoichi the Frightening Car. Bokoichi the Frightening Car has not had a good series. It has been destroyed twice in the last match. And now the 300 attack of Moki goes in to put Syrus down to 5100. Ishizu well in control in this first match. And, well, if Syrus destroys Agido, Moki only stays at 3000 for a turn. I don't know if it's both players' turn or if it's just one of the players' turns, or... But anyway. Syrus has his prompt up. He is thinking long and hard. He has 6 cards in his hand, and he plays the Monster Reborn. That's why he would have taken some time. He would have been looking through the graveyards. What would Syrus like to bring back? It is Drillroid. Oh, Ishizu did have a Magic Jammer on the field. She couldn't play it though because she has no cards in her hand to discard to utilize the effect. Psychroid comes to the field. Ishizu, it doesn't matter though because she activates Wabaku. Waboku, this is the way you play Waboku. Ishizu held it, and for good reason. She draws Tenderness, 700 attack, and watch this. Tenderness goes in for the attack, destroys itself. Moki Moki Smackdown, we have now got a 3000 square-shaped whatever it is with a big question mark above its head at the same amount of attack points as the Blue Eyes White Freaking Dragon. This game of Yu-Gi-Oh! We have never claimed that it makes any sense. And this is exactly how we mean. Okay, it does only last for one character's turn. Well, there you go. Moki Moki is back to its original 300 attack. He couldn't bear to see Tenderness get such a tender smashing by that Psychroid. Tenderness got ran over. And Moki Moki didn't approve. Truckroid came to the field and now absorbs Moki Moki. Ah, what a fun game. Now, Truckroid, though, is vulnerable. It looks like there's nothing really that Syrus can do. He's got 4 other cards in his hand, but he's just got... Truckroid's defense is only at 2,000. Lest we forget, Mystical Sand would have destroyed it. Yugioh destroys Truckroid. 2,100. Now coming off of Syrus. And it was a quick one, but we got to see Moki Moki hit 3,000. Ishizu wins the third match, but Syrus still took the set 2-1, so he goes level top with Ishizu. It's shaping up to be a good round 11, especially if we have more matches like this. I am only going to be able to get through one because of the salvage operation and everything. It's late again as well. I've been doing stuff on Adobe After Effects, and this duel went for over 37 minutes. Keith and Axel coming up. There's also Marek and Yugi this round, Rebecca and Tristan, Johnny Steps and Mokuba, Serenity and the Big Five. Kind of a duel match. Oh, Jaden and Bastion. Oh, that'll be good. Panic and Bakura should be good as well. Duke Devlin and Pegasus. This is going to be a fun round. Again, it's going to be a fun round. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. And again, yes, the second duel, well, I did what I could. I'm actually still rather pleased with myself that I managed to salvage it, even though it also took about 40 minutes to salvage. But it got there in the end. Thanks everyone for tuning in, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, take care, farewell.